Asato ma sakkamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityurma amritam gamaya. From the unreal to the real. From the darkness, the unconsciousness, to the light. From time-bound consciousness to that timeless, eternal state of being, let us be led. And when you're ready, just gently open your eyes. You can keep that connection to the I amness, who and what you are, below your thoughts, below the mind. It's awesome to be here and to do something with all these wonderful men. When I came here tonight, there was an abundance of cars on the street that I have never seen before. And it's great to see an abundance of people here today. A couple weeks ago, I read a story of an anthropologist who was doing an experiment. He was with some African children. And he or she put a basket of fruit underneath the tree and told the children, I want you guys to run to the tree, and whoever gets there first, all that fruit is yours. And with the hands, what the children did amazed me, and probably amazed the anthropologists. They grabbed each other's hands, and they ran together. And they enjoyed the fruit together. And the anthropologist asked them, why'd you do that? You guys could have had all the fruit, but you chose to go together. And they said, how can we enjoy all the fruit if somebody else is sad? See, because we have a word called Ubuntu. And Ubuntu means community-driven existence, community-driven life. I am because we are. And to me, I've been really seeing that real abundance is community. For many years, I taught many classes about spiritual abundance and principles, and in 2008, a lot of shifts started taking place, as the gentleman was talking about, not just in 2012. It's been building, it's just escalating this year, but the energetic changes and shifts have been coming about. And the earth is energetically shifting, the stars, the planet. We are going through our energetic changes and shifts. And it's all stirring up all the stuff we've suppressed and repressed and not wanted to look at. And we've been told that there's only capitalism or communism or socialism and there's no other choice. But it isn't until we look at contributionism or Ubuntu that the planet will really know abundance. Abundance isn't something we create outside of ourselves. It's who we are. And when we drop below the thinking mind and experience that spacious presence, the isness of who and what we are, we're into true abundance. But if we're living from our mind, we're living from the head, and we're believing what our head tells us who and what we are. We're living from a place of separation. We're living from a place of duality. We're living from a place of fear. And so, in living from that place of fear, duality, separation, living from the mind, there's automatically this self-centeredness that exists. If I don't get it, somebody else will. You know? The competition. The cutthroat, which leads to all the stuff that we have in society, the corruption, the deception, the control, the mind control, and all the stuff that a lot of spiritual people don't want to look at because they're too spiritual, it doesn't exist for them, right? You know, it's like the yin and the yang, all sides, two sides of the coin. We can't embrace one side of the coin and not embrace the other. And in this day and time, nothing that was kept in the dark will stay in the dark. All shall come to the light, or come into the light. And the great thing about the absolute is that the absolute presence of who and what you are doesn't just pick and choose aspects of yourself, that it embraces all of who you are. And it embraces all of who everyone is. Like the saying goes, the sun shines on the saint and the sinner. And we are each the saint and the sinner. We have it all within us. We're not separate from anybody else or anything else. We're one with all of it. And we take on different roles as we come into this life. But it's just a role. Underneath the role is the isness, the beingness of who and what we are. And when we awaken to that, our vibrational frequency intensifies, and we lack for nothing. A lot of people, I know the law of attraction, and I know Joe mentioned it, and I'm not, wanting to contradict anything, but I've been talking a lot lately about why the law of attraction does not work for a lot of people. And one of the key bases is exactly what I just talked about in the beginning, of this whole self-centeredness of going from a place of separation. See, because if you live in duality, when we live in the vibrational plane of duality, we do, each and every one of us, no one's exempt from it. If you're calling in abundance, you're going to get the opposite of whatever you call into. Most people who live by the law of attraction and live by their mind, they go from feast to famine, feast to famine, feast to famine. Communities that teach it go from feast to famine, feast to famine, feast to famine. Why is that? Because what I just said. Because if you're living from a place of duality, from separation, whatever you call in, you're drawing in the opposite as well. You get over that month, you get the money, you pay your bills, you be happy, you sing and dance, you give your testimony in church, and then next month you're back to the same old thing. How am I going to get through it again? It's a roller coaster, never ending thing. But when you really tap the abundance of who and what you are, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven. All these things will be added unto you. When you awaken to the truth of beingness, and you allow that Father within, the Mother within, the God presence within to do the work, when you get yourself out of the way. See, because that's the thing a lot of attraction people don't understand. They think that they're doing it. And when you think that you're doing it, you're all in the way. And you might get it for a moment. You might actually get what you think you're trying to get. But the thing is this also, and this just came to me as I was sitting here. We're living in a time of rapid change. And so if you're focused on manifesting something, or a certain idea that you want to manifest, by the time you manifest it, it's probably already outdated. And when we think that we really know something, in this time of rapid change, tumultuous change, we're limiting ourselves from really understanding and learning more, opening ourselves up to the greatness, the isness, the grace. And so we can live by the law, or you can live by grace. It's our choice. People who live by the law, you're going to get according to your beliefs. You're going to live by your belief structure. It is done unto you as you believe, and that's what you'll get. But you can transcend that and go into a place of grace, living by grace. It's about letting go of the control. Letting go of the control. The small self needs to control everything. The separate self needs to control everything because it's based in fear. It's based in separation. So it wants to feel secure by holding on to something. But once you give it whatever it's going to make it secure, it's only going to last for a moment because then it wants something else. Then it wants something else. No matter what you give it, you can give it all the money, all the materials, all the relationships, the shop, you can shop till you drop, all that stuff. But the ego mind don't care, it wants more. This whole thing is about more. And so we have a society driven by more. We just can't get enough. I think the Rolling Stones sang about it when they said, I can't get no satisfaction. Well, how are we going to get some satisfaction? Because we're always looking for ourselves outside of ourselves. We're always trying to create our lives from a place of self-seeking. And when you create from a place of self-seeking, you're operating from a place of negativity. But when you come to the place of I amness, the beingness, see, your beingness, who you are, is powerful enough, and it's always working constantly, day and night, to attract everything that you need. And it's also repelling everything you don't need. All the stuff that's not supposed to be in your life is trying to get away from you. Your beliefs are holding it in place. Everything that you want and need in your life is trying to come to you. Your beliefs are holding it at bay. And so, going beyond this, and then you can work with the mind and working with beliefs, but you'll be working with that thing for all eternity. You'll be working with that thing for a long, long time. You'll be an old person, Still working on changing your beliefs. And we just don't have that much time this day, guys. And time is of the essence. And the now is all that there is. And you can step into the truth of beingness at any moment. It's always available unto us. Yeah? It's always here now. It's always who we are. You cannot create the divinity that you are. You can simply awaken to it. Or be asleep to it. But you cannot create it. It is who you are. Jesus said, who by taking thought can add 1 cubit to their stature? You can affirm all day long. Ain't going to change the truth of who you are. Who you are is who you are. And that nothing's going to change that. Awaken to that. Feel that. Allow yourself to live from that. Beyond this mental mind, which is a place of limitation. And from the heart. It's living from the heart. The heart is one with all of life. And when we come into the heart, we feel that flow, the river of life I hope you experienced when we did the I amness. You can feel that I amness flowing through you. It's that river, that he who comes upon this river shall never hunger and shall never thirst. It's always there. The thing is, the thing that we are seeking is seeking us. And if we're looking for it outside of ourselves, we're looking for it in the wrong direction. But when we turn within, we turn to that sacred place of the Most High, we discover within ourselves. It overflows through us. It can't help but to create. It's the law of life to create. The thing is, we thinking we gotta create from this. And thinking this thing here is the land of the lost, baby. This thing here, that's all the thing up. Lean not into your own understanding, but in all things acknowledge the one, the presence. The grace will guide your way. Thank you so much.